Hello and welcome to Ginger Prime. My name is Brian and this is my new player frequently asked questions for Star Wars Squadrons. There's a lot we have to cover, and later in the video we're going to go over the technical specifications for PC and VR play. I know I am very excited for the fact that this game supports full crossplay and VR if you're on PlayStation 4 or PC, but we still have a lot more to cover before that, so let's go ahead and dive in. The official release date for Star Wars Squadrons is October the 2nd, and there is not a collector's edition. You can pre-order this game today for $40, and yes, there are pre-order bonus content, which includes exclusive customization options for your pilot and your starfighter for both the New Republic and the Galactic Empire. Now, will you be able to pre-download this game? Yes, starting on September 28th, you'll be able to pre-download your Star Wars Squadrons game. What platforms are actually supported for this game? Well, you've got PC, Xbox One, and PS4. It's important to note that there technically isn't a Xbox Series X or PS5 version. However, it is planned that this is going to run fine on those platforms. And even on the main site, it does list them as supported, but there isn't a technical next generation specific build. I know that gets confusing. We'll have to wait and see if they continue to maintain that stance down the road. Will VR be supported? Yes, thank goodness for this. And honestly, you can play this entire game in VR. This personally has me very excited to experience. I, for one, have struggled with VR, and personally, I'm very happy that they're supporting that at the core of this game. What's the point of view outside of VR? Well, it's entirely first person. The only way you're going to get a third person point of view is through spectator mode. Does this game support crossplay across all platforms? Yes, it does, and thank goodness for that. So can you actually invite somebody from another platform to your party? Yes, you may absolutely do that. And it does also even support cross-platform voice chat. So are there any additional input methods that the PC will support? And actually some really good news, not just keyboard and mouse, not just a controller, but you'll actually have hand and throttle and sticks, or known as HOTAS, for support. Is tracking IR supported on the PC? And no, it is not yet, but there is a free look support on the PC. Now, what other input methods can be supported on consoles? Controller and HOTAS. HOTAS support will be added in a patch, and that will drop on the day of its release. So there is actually a day one patch, so be ready for that as well. So what are the game modes? Well, there are 3 different types of game modes in this game. You have a single player campaign. You also have 2 multiplayer modes, the dogfight and fleet battles. So what do you technically do in a dogfight? Well, your team obviously tries to defeat as many of the other starfighters as they can, and the enemy team is going to be doing the same. Whichever side reaches the elimination goal first, or has the most kills by the time the match runs out, wins. Typical dogfighting kind of match. So what is fleet battles, and what should I know about that? Well, in fleet battles, you work to and with your team to destroy the enemy's flagship, and there are 3 stages that you actually must complete. So is there also a ranked mode? And yes, actually fleet battles are a ranked mode, and we're going to dive a little bit more into your character progression because there's a lot more to kind of talk about that here in a little bit, so just kind of stay tuned for that. How many players can there actually be in the multiplayer modes? And the game is balanced for 5v5, and you can even play against the AI. So regarding the campaign and lore, what kind of time frame does this Star Wars take place for the single player campaign? And it starts right after the first Death Star has destroyed Alderaan in New Hope, and most of the campaign is after the Battle of Endor. Do you fight for the Rebels or the Empire in the campaign? And if you haven't seen any of the trailers, you're actually fighting for both factions. You'll have a character for the New Republic, formerly the Rebel Alliance, and a character for the Galactic Empire, in which that you switch between them depending on the mission. This way you get to experience the story from both the bad guy and the good guy perspectives. So can you actually customize your character in campaign? Yes, you can actually change their appearance as well as their name in the main campaign. So is there ship customization? And yes, you can actually customize the ability that your ship has as well as how your ship looks. And this all ties into the leveling progression. As you level up, you get experience, and up to level 40, you're going to eventually unlock all the different currency to actually open up the game. There isn't going to be some kind of pay-to-win model here. I think that's going to be very relieving for a lot of people to hear. But you can keep leveling up past 40, but at 40, you're going to have enough to have all the different customization options and allow you to kind of set all those skills. You're going to have 7, you're going to have like 3 passive skills and 4 active skills. There are some examples that we're going to go through in a later guide, so just kind of keep it locked here to the channel for more information. But I think this looks really exciting, and personally I'm very happy, and hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do. I've been really itching to have a big dogfighting game back in my life. But beyond just the way you build out your ship, you can also customize its look, and you can do this for the exterior of your ship, as well as also customize the insides of your cockpit with small trinkets and bobbleheads. Visual ship customization is also available for both factions. So can you customize your pilot's like visual appearance? And yes, you can also do this at any time when you're not in a multiplayer match. Additionally, your pilot's appearance on campaign is also going to be customized. Now, are some of the customization options locked behind microtransactions? And here's something that's surprising. No, all customization options can be unlocked through gameplay and or playtime. That is a big relief, especially coming from an EA game, personally speaking. So can you change your pilot's name? And yes, you can do that as well. So what kind of ships do the AI fly? All the ships, the fighter, the bomber, the interceptor, and support ships. So can I take a side with a specific faction, New Republic or Galactic Empire? And you could select a faction to prioritize when you're looking for a match in multiplayer, but it's unlikely you're going to be able to exclusively play as one faction. Now in fleet battles, can you go straight for the enemy flagship and try to destroy it? Yes, but the flagship is heavily armed and guarded, and you won't be able to have support from your AI fighters, and it will make it very difficult to do so. Do your capital ships have to move around during fleet battles? And yes, they actually do. And how is your initial rank in fleet battles determined? Your initial rank will be determined through a series of placement matches that all coincide with progression. So let's talk a little bit about progression now, and then we'll dive into the PC specifications. So the core pillars of Squadrons' online experiences outside the game modes themselves are the challenges, the operations, and your pilot level. Within each of these are ways that you can be rewarded with glory and currency earned by playing, and that is used to unlock various cosmetics. You're also going to get experience while you're playing on just about everything you do, allowing you to level up and earn requisition. This is the currency that you actually use to unlock your ship's components, and for more details, I'll include a link in the description below if you want to kind of go over what all that actually entails, and we'll try to do a deeper dive guide here in the next coming days. So regarding challenges, this is the main form of rewards that are kind of beyond the post-match earnings that are actually going to be driven through challenges. You're going to have daily and operational challenges. Think of operations as kind of your seasonal battle pass. This is an 8-week reset, but it's also ranked. So you're going to try to vie for higher ranks. Anyway, we'll go into it a little bit more here in just a little bit. And on the screen right now, you can actually see what it looks like for the different challenges, both daily as well as your operational challenge and what it rewards. Now, you're going to want to regularly compete your daily challenges to keep getting rewards while playing Squadrons. They are often very simple objectives that provide you with glory to unlock cosmetics for your starfighters and pilots, and this is going to encourage you to try different ships out and components to achieve completion. Glory is also earned based on how you perform in a match. Operational challenges, however, are different. They can reward you with unique cosmetics and are tied to the game's ongoing operations. So, regarding operations and ranks, operations are an 8-week cycle that happen in Squadrons, and each operation briefing with it is a set of unique cosmetics and rewards that can only be earned by completing its challenges. Certain challenges also offer unique rewards too. So once they're gone, you won't be able to get that cosmetic unless the operational challenges return one day. So C, aka FOMO. Seeing which pilot is showing off their unique flair will be a good way to tell if you're up against a dedicated ace. So, once tied to these 8-week resets is your fleet battles rank. With every operation concludes the start of a new one, you're going to compete. Your rank tied to fleet battles will reset, allowing for regular reassessment of your skills. To get to your first rank, you're going to need to play at least 10 placement matches. And right now here on the screen, you can actually see what that kind of looks like as a part of your rankings. So the ranks are as follows: Maverick, Hotshot, Hero, Valiant, Legend, and Galactic Ace. So the operations are going to take on a competitive play through a ranked ladder system that resets every 8 weeks. A way that your players can test their skills and teamwork capabilities in more than just one strategic more strategic mode, fleet battles. The system is built to encourage players to improve their skills without being overly punished if you run into some bad luck. Players are actually protected from being demoted to lower divisions and the length of the active operation. This means you cannot go from Galactic Ace to Legend. However, within the tier itself, you can you have the different 5 tiers. You could go from level 2 to level 1 within the tier itself, but you're not going to be completely depromoted if you don't go on. Now, regarding player levels, you have also a personal level, and your level is very linear progression that's going to be based off of XP, and it does not reset. So unlike your rank that does reset, your level is just going to keep going up and up and up, and eventually it's going to be a bragging, especially if you continue to play the game itself. Now, after level 40, you've unlocked every little point that gives you all the different options to custom build out your ships. So note that after level 40, it's just kind of more for bragging rights to show that off. Now, as I mentioned before, there's also going to be occasional bonus events that will play out over time. Now, these include and provide additional glory. So beyond that, competing parts of the game will also provide you with various cosmic bundles. Players will get a bundle of cosmetics for completing a single-player story mode and other for completing the fleet battle tutorials. While almost all the game's experience will be built in at launch, we'll still be able to update it over time, and we're going to see a few questions about this, but should be anything needed to be balanced or fixed, we'll be actively taking your feedback to make the best possible Starfighter experience. So they're going to update the system with notes and more in the future dates. Now, if you're looking to get in this game, especially with PC VR, there's a lot of different requirements here. So I have them listed up here on the screen, and all this information will be linked in the description of this video below if you want to go read it along for yourself, if you don't care for my, essentially, accoutrement, the way that I pronounce things sometimes. So minimum specs, non-VR, Windows 10, Ryzen 3, 1300X, processor Intel i5, 66K, 8 gigs of RAM, graphics card AMD HD Radeon 7850 or equivalent, or NVIDIA GTX 660 or equivalent, DirectX 11.1, and you're going to need an internet connection, and it lists 512K BBPS, which is hilarious to me personally speaking, that I love that we have that listed, but you know what, it doesn't seem like it needs much, and you need 40 gigs of hard drive space to install. Now, recommended non-VR, minimum VR specs, you're looking at Windows 10 64-bit, a Ryzen 7 720X or an Intel i7 770, 16 gigs of RAM, an Radeon RX 480 or equivalent, a GeForce GTX 1060 or equivalent, then DirectX 11.1, same internet bandwidth requirement, and still 40 gigs. Now, if you're going to go VR, 64-bit, Ryzen 7 720 or an Intel i7 770, 16 gigs, a Radeon 570 or equivalent, or GTX 1070 or equivalent, same DirectX 11.1, and same disk space. Guys, hopefully you're excited as I am. I've honestly just been super stoked about Star Wars Squadrons. I've been missing a massive dogfighting game, especially since Crimson Skies. That's a long time ago. I'm dating myself, but on the original Xbox. And since they announced this, I have just been really excited to share it with you guys, and I'll be playing it this coming Friday, and I'll be sure to give you guys more opinions and thoughts about the game here on the channel in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, you feel like I earned it, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this out on social media if you decide to do so. Let me know in the comments below so I can thank you and welcome you to the Soul Nation accordingly. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you found it interesting, and hopefully you enjoy your time in Star Wars Squadrons. But until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. This video is sponsored by me, Ginger Prime. Hopefully you'll check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, which we have lots of guests, lots of great conversations, and even more highlights. Links are in the description below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.